Welcome to the Season Podcast.
All right, there we go. We had a little bit of a hiccup, technical difficulties. We are testing things out on Instagram Live, so it got kind of jumbled. It's our first time. Hopefully, you'll. I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. This is our Christmas episode, and I got to tell you, I am unprepared for this episode. Now, that was not always the case. I actually have a full-length script written for a show, a full-on show where you have me in this whole like It's a Wonderful Life scenario. I thought it would be funny to bring people on, and I couldn't do it. I'm having a tough time this Christmas. I'm having a tough time getting into this. I don't hate Christmas. I know I call it humbug. I'm no Scrooge. But it has been sort of a tough year. 2023 has been, for a lot of us, a tough. So I thought it'd be important to come on and acknowledge that. I was for the past couple of weeks, I was really thinking about it. Like, I was having fun doing the shows leading up. Like, they were different. They weren't really Christmas themed. You know, we talked about gift ideas, but you're not really focused in it, you know? And then they come to this episode, and having written a script for it and want to do this whole like teleplay sort of thing, it seemed exciting. I was so ready for it. I really wanted to kind of get into it. But I just, like, once I realized like kind of just how I was feeling drained, I couldn't do it. So I came on here and I was like, you know what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a whole show where I don't talk about Christmas on the week before. I just bitch and moan. No, I got producer Paul here. He's going to be joining in. We're going to have a really good time. We have some great reviews for you. I watched Wonka and I watched Strays, so we'll be doing that. I have another mixed movie pick from 1961, one of my personal favorites, and I hope you guys like it. And I want to talk about a few things going on in the world, but I do want to address some things. I know a lot of people are going through tough times. It's tough. It hasn't gotten any easier in the past like 4 years, if ever. No, but seriously, this year I see a lot of people suffering, and I feel like it's kind of the result of decisions made throughout the past few years, and that's all over the world. I see a lot of people kind of hurting and suffering, but I also see a lot of good, and that's the thing that holds on to me. There's a lot of people, you know, putting their heads out and doing it in a positive manner, building communities, being leaders. And that's something I truly love and adore. Now, I may not be feeling the Christmas spirit this year. There's a lot going on. But I got to tell you, a lot of people have really inspired me this year. A lot of you, ones who listen, watch. Some people I've just met have absolutely nothing to do with what I do here. It's amazing to me. So I'm choosing this Christmas. Maybe I don't have the energy level for the spirit. Maybe some of you don't have that same energy level, and you're just kind of pushing through, trying to make it the best for your families or for yourselves, or if you're by yourselves, hopefully you're taking care of yourselves. You know, make sure you're checking in with yourself and realizing how important and wonderful you are, and I love you. So Christmas can be a tough time, whether you have somebody, you don't have somebody, you're alone, you're together, this, that, the other thing. There's a lot of things are coming, and this is the time of year that really reminds us of all the good in the world, but also reminds us of a lot of loneliness. So because I'm feeling that, I know many other people are probably feeling it too. And I want you guys to know something. I don't have any magical fixes. I don't have any, you know, I can sit here and tell you words of encouragement, which is important. But I'm going to tell you straight up, one thing that I have always latched onto is hope. When there's none left, and I've been there, I have been there. When there is none left, and it feels like everything is crumbling down around you, your whole life is just devastated. In your own mind, it's devastated. Or even in real life, things can fall apart very easily. If you feel alone, if you feel scared, if you feel like you're worthless, or hold on to that hope. That hope has gotten me through a lot of hairy spots. You know, not just being in trouble, but how life is sort of playing out. I beg you guys, with as hard as it's been over the last 4 years for a lot of us, and it's not getting any easier. Hell, we're all broke. We're all tired. We're all just trying to make it in the world. And nobody of consequence in this world is making it any easier on us. So we got to make it easier on each other. So I hope, from me to you, if you're listening or you're watching, or even if you're not and you know somebody who may need to hear this, I want you to hold on to that hope. Go into 2024 and just keep in mind, every day is a new day. You can have beautiful days, you can have terrible days. Sometimes the terrible will be more than the beautiful, but don't forget that. And the skies are going to clear up. I promise you that. Down the line, we ain't going to remember all the bad. We're going to remember. So Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all your families. Happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends. I know it ended last week, but I want to say it again. Happy Kwanzaa to all my friends who are out there celebrating. Thank you guys so much. Let's go into the new year. Let's go in refreshed, taking a deep breath, try some yoga, and really get our heads straight and take on the world, because we are worth it. We are awesome, and now is the time. Thank you guys very much. I'm Mick Manhattan. I'm going to bring on producer Paul. I think I'm sitting in the back too long. How you doing?
I'm doing good today, Mick. How are you?
I'm hanging in, man. It's just been, I'm just not in the Christmas spirit.
Get that. I absolutely get that.
With my red shirt and my red hat and my light up necklace. At least mustered that up, right?
Hey, there you go. Nah, I get that. I struggle with Christmas. I struggle with December every year. It's probably the toughest month of the year. But I will say what's tremendously helped me, I'm not trying to give a shout out to them, but I work at a spot that does Christmas light. Because I figured, I get Christmas might not mean everything to me that it should, and that other people want it to be, but I'm not trying to have that affect others. So I figured this year, by narrating a hayride for children, at least I'm trying to help someone else's Christmas. And Saturday night, I had some little kid break me down completely because they were like, you just made this the best Christmas ever. And that's why I knew I needed to do those lights, because at least I'm helping someone else. I'm not saying I'm a lost cause or this, that. It's nothing like that, you guys. But I don't want anyone to have bad Christmas. I know I talk a lot of trash about Christmas, and I for all intents and purposes, I hate Christmas. But I don't want you to hate Christmas or any of our people watching or anything like that, and especially children. If I can do anything to make a kid still believe in the magic, still feel great about it, wake up that morning and they're still happy, hey, I'm all for it. I love that. But just as you know, life kind of sometimes will wear certain people down, and it's definitely worn on me. And Christmas isn't some magical thing anymore. It's a month of remembrance, and I wish I could make it like midsummer where I could just go outside and go streaking, do something stupid. But instead, I'm inside because it's cold, and cold Paul is not a good representation of what I got to offer. So here we are.
Your Christmas present's a little flimsy on this end.
Yeah.
Go get another one. I love it. That's a really sweet, and I love that. I love that you're doing that too, because it sounds just like even just a fun idea to be able to tell the stories to the kids, do the hayride. Because that's. I don't want to say that's the reason we keep it alive, but I do think that keeping it alive for kids makes it so much better for us. It's like we get that magic now, and we're into it, and it's just so much fun. I love that. So that's a very cool thing that you did, and I applaud you on it for doing it, especially knowing you don't like to be surrounded by Christmas. So to be able to do that's a sweet. So good for you, man, and thank you for helping and keeping that hope alive.
Trying my best. It's like you said, it's tough, and you need to take time for yourself. I took a whole mental day yesterday where I was trying to just keep to myself, not answering texts or calls, and just trying to get myself back on track emotionally and everything. And here we are. I think we're good to go for the next year, at least till next December. So we're good.
Okay, now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of it, because it is called Bah Humbug. Let's strictly talk about Christmas for at the moment. I don't want to talk about personal stuff, because I don't want to draw anything out if anybody doesn't want to talk about anything. But sound off in the comments, people. What is an aspect of Christmas, or some, that you hate? You're like, why does this exist?
Mariah Carey's song, All I Want for Christmas. 2000%, Mick. I've had to fucking listen to that song. That could die. If I could go back in time, that's what I changed. Nothing else that actually is important. No.
That's the one. That's where we're going.
The fucking one.
Is that the line too? Is that like?
Oh my god.
No more.
I mean, honestly, I feel like to get the rights to that song should be so astronomical price wise that no one touches it. It's like one time a year. They can only play it once, and then that's it.
I don't know if Mariah Carey owns her own music or not. I don't know if she owns the rights to that one. I think she does, because she can still sing it whenever she wants. So I'm assuming. But let me tell you, if that's the thing that's keeping her fortune intact, I believe it.
100%.
There's they do the Spotify thing every year for the wrap ups, and they tell you this is how many people. How you doing, Heidi? Thanks for joining in. They do the what do you call it? The people all of our numbers and shit like that for our shows or music. And Taylor Swift, of course, was the most watched and stuff. But they were talking to Snoop Dogg about it, and they're like, "Oh man, you got over 1 billion listens or plays or something like that." He goes, "Oh great, that's $46,000." It's so
damn.
And he railed against it, and I don't blame him, because it's true, because it's he was even sort of saying, oh, Taylor Swift, oh no, I think he got 100 million, I think she got 1 billion. He's like, oh great, so she got double, or some shit like it was something like that. And it was just I looked at the Spotify numbers and I'm like, yeah, I fucking hate these numbers, dude. Like, because I know that fucking song is probably the most played thing from November 1st until December 25th.
It fucking has to be.
And I can't take it anymore.
Mm.
Like, I agree with you. I'm 100%. Like,
Mhm.
I'm so, I want to be a fly on the wall. I want to go back in time and be a fly on the wall of Mariah Carey's house when she found out that Brenda Lee's song "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" was #1 this year for like 3 weeks, because she had to have lost her mind.
Right.
There's no way. Like, she's the #1 Christmas song.
Right.
So I hope Nick Cannon didn't get his head cut off or anything. So, whatever. During a drop off or pickup, but. I can't. Yeah, that is. Are there any other songs that you really hate when it comes to Christmas that just like get your goat?
That one. I'm not gonna lie.
Is
Okay,
that
so
one?
like on our hayride, for instance, we'll just say the hayride. We're just listening to the radio. That still replays almost 6 times every fucking hour. Like every other song is Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's insane. And I'm not there that long. I'm only there like 4 hours, but that's still 20 times I got to hear that song. And no, like that's the only thing. And I hate when people say Happy Holidays. Fucking, I don't care what you believe or what's going on. Say Merry Christmas. Just say Merry Christmas.
Fair.
You don't have to make this complicated. Like, and if I say Merry Christmas, don't be like it's Happy Holidays. I hate Christmas and I'm saying Merry Christmas. So you can suck it up for a minute. It's not Happy Holidays. Sorry.
It can be.
It can be Merry.
I'm with you on that to a point. Like it used to bug me because it was like, well, I'm happy to say Happy Hanukkah. I'm happy to say happy. I don't think it should be a bad thing to say Merry Christmas. It's just a different holiday. I didn't hold the religious connotation to it or anything. So like when people start changing, but when it became Happy Holidays, I was like, I also don't know where everybody comes. So like if a Jewish person's saying it to me, or if somebody celebrates Kwanzaa, or somebody doesn't celebrate at all, a Happy Holidays to me is a nice thing to say, because you're acknowledging the holiday I celebrate. Clearly, you can see which one it is. I look like I'm in Santa Claus in training, so
you do not.
Yes, because I shaved the beard.
Yeah. You still been losing weight. You look good. You're not big enough to be Santa. And if you were anyone, you'd be Krampus. You're too tall to be Santa. I'm sorry. You would terrify me. I would piss myself in your lap. 200.
Really? You think 100%.
So? Like, what you want for Christmas? I'd be like, just straight pee.
You would just pee on me? That's how this would
100%. Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't want you to pee on me.
A lot of people don't like it, but here I am. We all got our kinks.
Touche. You can't shit on me. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Here's a shower. Here's a lap shower. We'll call it that. I want to know. I would love to get a mall Santa and ask you, have you ever been pissed on? It has to.
There's no way.
I think the last mall Santa we went to, because now we go to, like, they have a lot of Santa things all around. So we tend to go to that, especially if it's small business. But the last mall Santa we went to was years ago. Jack was like maybe 1 or 2. Tommy was like 6. So, and they had like a couch, and he was a big dude like me, and he had them sit, and he was holding like kind of Jack and Tommy. And I was like, it's funny you brought it up, because I'm like, how many people pissed on that couch? Right. And what if Santa's just straight up just pissing on the couch?
I mean, at that point, why wouldn't you? I mean, who's going to tell the difference?
You're there for hours. I mean, it's like, listen, if Amazon workers are saying they have to piss in bottle, are we really not sure if Santa has a Gatorade bottle taped to his dick or not? Are you really asking that question? I see you asking that question, Paul, and you want to know.
I do.
Santa, wait, let's go to the real dude. Let's go to Santa. He's traveling the world all night. Where's he stopping? Do you think he's going to our bathrooms, or do you think he's got some sort of contraption shooting down the
right off the sleigh?
You think so? You think Santa would?
Why not? It's that high up. No one's going to see you. I peed off cell phone towers all the time, and people could clearly see me. Only 200 feet in the air if they looked hard, real hard. But
no, and it's a little weird. And I say this knowing it wholeheartedly. It's a little weird. All the things like we're willing to pee off of, or just in all the directions we're willing to pee.
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It's like, okay, I used. Okay, so here's a funny story. We lived out one of our first houses. Well, our first house that we owned was like we had 2 acres of land. It was like a football field or more. I don't know how many acres were in a football field.
Yes.
So it felt like a football field. And like we were in the middle of nowhere. So like the road was like it was at least a 7 to 10 minute walk from our house to up our driveway to the road, and then forest behind us. And the great thing is, like, on the side was a cemetery, and then more forest. So it was like we had nobody near it.
Right.
And I used to smoke back in the day. And so I would go outside to some stuff and I would just pee.
Right.
And my wife would always be like, why are you peeing outside? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? We have bathrooms. And I'm like, you just don't understand being a man, being able to freely pee.
Yeah. No.
I get it. I get it as a woman. Like, that's a weird concept. You got to go in the woods and you got to bend down. That's like me. I'm still on guard.
Right.
You know,
I can run and pee. I've done it before.
I don't need to run. I'll fight. Like, whatever my dick's up, but I'll fight. Like, do you think I'm gonna let whatever wolf is coming towards my dick? Oh, I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna kick that motherfucker and try and get it back in there as quick as possible. But you got to free pee sometimes, man, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be a guy because when I think about my back pain, I'm like, if I had to sit down every time I need to use the bathroom, my back would be even more fucked up than it already is.
Listen, bringing it back to the God stuff. He didn't make us be able to just pee wherever if it wasn't good for the earth. Like, if it damaged the earth, he wouldn't have made it. Like, he would have just given us toilets. It would have been like, here, this is the best contraption for you.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He was like, go ahead, pee anywhere you want, shit anywhere you want. Just don't step in it. It's dirty. Go take a bath every once in a while. You're good. And days were better when we were naked. Just
I use mine as natural weed killer for the backyard. I got tired of paying for weed killer. I realized we're good. No problem.
We're so hell bent about letting men pee outside. We've invented invisible fences. Oh, electric fences, not invisible, electric.
Right.
All right, that was stupid. That joke was funnier in my head when it was right.
That's fine. I feel like I'm James Dean peeing outside, so it's probably not how I look in my head. I probably just
little known fact about James Dean. Little known fact: he's never peed outside since 1956.
I could see that. He looks like he sits every time he uses the bath.
Oh no, he died.
Oh shit, that's what you meant.
Oh wait, which James Dean did you mean?
That's who I was talking about. I just didn't catch it all.
Oh, he died in 55, so it still technically holds true. Oh man, dude, I'm glad we could get the laughs out, but let's get serious. Fucking turmoil, right? The world's crazy now.
It is.
I do want to talk a little bit about some news. So you see the Jonathan Majors thing?
I did. What do you think about it?
I've always thought he was a great actor. I still maintain, like, no matter who he is outside of off the screen, he's an amazing actor. The dude, it still always comes back to that conversation. Like, are you willing to watch the thing if the artist is a monster, or look at the painting or listen to a song, whatever, you know how it is.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like. He's the monster. I don't support him.
Right.
But the art never really, like, it's like, here's the funny thing. I can't think of I can't think of somebody who was a monster before they were an artist. Just didn't occur. They might have been monsters while they were an artist. It's a different story. But so, like, when I think about that, I have no real good analogy, but I will say this. I just, like, R. Kelly, despicable human being. Jonathan Majors, if he did this, despicable human being. It sucks, but, like, still, as humans, we can make those decisions not to be despicable. I'm not taking away what anybody else did on the other side. I defend all kids when it's a kid scenario, like we were talking about Michael Jackson or something. Defend the kids. But when it comes to these artists who do something, I don't have to support. I didn't give a fuck. I honestly don't give a fuck about them when they don't do anything. So, like, I love your performances. I love your, stuff like that. And I can get lost into it because no, it's not just one person who made that. Even with music, I don't care if they're the only singer on it. They didn't the only one to make it.
Exactly. Right.
So I love this. Radar says Marvel screwed. They might be. They'll recast. They were looking forward to this. Christopher Plummer for Kang. That might be a tough one. He's D. Matt Frewer. The Lawnmower Man. What was he in? He was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was the neighbor.
Yeah.
So I love Matt Frewer. So, like, watching this and seeing it, does he deserve to be Kang? He needed to be gone. And they were waiting. I guess he had a clause in his contract or something that says that only he could play Kang. How do you feel about all this stuff, man, coming through? And the videos and everything.
You always feel a little bit of disappointment. But I've always been in a lot of situations. I try to wait to see how it plays out because we have seen, like, even with Johnny Depp, it doesn't always play out. Granted, there are videos, so it's completely different. I mean, we all have skeletons, like. I try to look at it as human. Like you said, besides messing with kids, I try to think, my life's not perfect. You put a microscope on me, I'm sure there are things you would find that you might be like, it's kind of messed up, Paul, or anyone else in my life.
Everyone, and I don't want to even put that just on you. Everyone's got stuff. Like I can say confidently, I'm the type of guy that, like, check my DMs. I got nothing. But that doesn't mean like most of my secrets. And now I'm not saying I've never done it. I have. I just made those choices to be like, I don't want this.
Right.
You know, like Ricky Gervais always said, I rape and murder as much as I want to, which is 0. I don't want to. So it's not going to be in my DMs, you know, or I'm not, you know, it's all like, you know, how they say, like, I'm saying it cool and hip, not really. I said Riz the other day and my kid looked at me like I was fucking 6 heads.
That's awesome.
Dude, he's like, you're not allowed to say that. I was like, okay. I was like, that's fair. I was like, I'll stick to my nomenclature. So yeah, like, so stuff like that, like, yeah, everybody's got skeleton closet, and I get that, but we often see so many rich get away with it.
Right.
You know, one thing that really bothers me is, and this could be racially motivated. It could be if it's a thing, and I'll get to it, but like it could be racially, it could be this, but it will cause an uproar because I'm telling you right now that Ruby Frankie or whatever, the woman who her and her partner horrifyingly tortured children to the point where they had to escape and they were saved. And she did it to be a YouTuber. They did it to be YouTubers and shit. Like, fuck you. She was found guilty yesterday too, or she pled guilty, I should say. And she's going to testify against her partner, who I guess was like the biggest brains of it. I'm telling you now, I'm going to revolt if that bitch is out. Like if she doesn't get more than 5 years,
right? Minimum.
And that's so low. I'm offended that I even said it.
Right.
But I bet you she will be out before Jonathan Major.
And unfortunately, I hate to say it, you're right. That's the problem now. Like you said, the rich can get away with anything. It's all about who you can pay off.
White people in the justice system don't care about anybody of color. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to pull Kanye right now. George W. Bush doesn't care about black people. And I still maintain that.
Where's my white card? I'm going to throw it down with you.
You're good.
Wait.
Here, hold on.
I'm
No,
not
I'm not pulling. Listen, I'll pull a Kanye in that sense because I think it's true. But I'm not pulling a Kanye in any other sense. No, it's we as a society, and I don't want to say we as a society, because I do think that general common sense, everyday people, not just Americans, everyday people, can understand and compartmentalize. I can never fucking say the word. Never mind. I give up. I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm no longer a podcast. It's your show.
No, I can't say it. I was going to say it for you. Now I'm like, oh wait.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, that one.
A lot of things, but at the same, because everybody's suffering. But you know, situations like this is like when I say that people in the judge, there's enough evidence to say that that's true. So go ahead and say like, oh no, that's not true. Like, there's enough evidence, because if you're not stopping it, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
So I'll just go off and say that. Now, I'm not saying everybody's evil, everybody's bad, all that jazz, but you know, just rich people, you know how I do it. But I'll take the money. If you want me to join up in the Illuminati, I'll take it. If he's not allowed to have any, I'm sorry. I'll give him some anyway. I'll give your wife some. No, I'm kidding, of course. You're always taking care of Paul by the way. So it is.
God,
they're never going to let her.
So below real quick. And
what is it? Yeah, it's the fucking thing that Jack Nicholson does in the movie. Oh my God.
I try to throw that in pictures randomly. I've never seen it come back. I do sometimes. Random pictures. Like if I'm in a large group, I'll just throw it in there.
I want you to do it at least with one celebrity on CFF next year.
Oh, I totally will. Especially if, I swear to God, if you let me lead any of those panels, I'm like, ooh.
I don't know if I can let you lead, but you will be with the Scene Snubs. So don't worry. We'll get there. We'll talk about it off camera. Because I don't want anybody else asking me over here.
Just kidding. I don't know anything.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun next.
Speaking of CFF, what do we got for CFF?
We're gonna unveil some stuff. You and I should probably sit and talk. We're gonna have some fun stuff. Sturdy's gonna be there too. I can't divulge too much information but I am excited for it. And everybody, like, start following CFF. Like, we're building up the YouTube now, so we're gonna have more videos on there coming into the new year, especially stuff that highlights what we're talking about. We're gonna put Discovering Horror up there, so follow them on YouTube. Make sure you're following them on social media, because Costas Mandylor from the Saw movies and a ton of other stuff just got announced today. We did announce it last week on our Horror Conversations podcast, though. So he will be there. That's going to be awesome. Including right now Kelly Maroney, Lachlan Monroe, Bill Mosley, Amy Steele, and I'm sure I'm missing some. My brain is kind of all over the place, but there's a lot more to be announced. It's 5-year anniversary of Carolina Fear Fest. So make sure you guys come out. I do also want to kind of bring up our wonderful sponsor, StubHub. If you're looking for tickets, don't just get Carolina Fear Fest. There's tons of tickets out there. Go down to our affiliate link down below. Make sure you click on that and go get your tickets for any comedy events, for concerts, for sports, everything. It's all there. I've never had a problem with StubHub. We got our Taylor Swift tickets there. I used to buy all my Washington Nationals, Dodgers, go all the way back to then. And I just bought AJR tickets on there. So I'm excited. All right.
Yeah.
I am, man. What are you hoping for Christmas?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't really think about Christmas. I think I just asked for some practical things I needed, like little accessories for my car that I got to get, little things like that. And I think I asked for some podcast equipment. I had told my parents that since I'm trying to finalize the script and get it shot this year, just hold off. And I sent them some stuff for little camera equipment I wanted and little things like that for the short film.
Write the script and then I'll help you. Don't worry about that. We'll get you on the equipment list. So yeah, just focus on that. I don't every year I can't think of anything, because like if I need something throughout the year, I get it. So like I can't think of anything I want, but I will tell you there are some stuff like I'm happy like to have picked up or I know I'm going to get along the way. Mary just surprised me with the make your own pops, make yourself a pop.
Oh, that's right. That's so cool.
I got one of those. I'm excited about that. And she made one for herself. So like, there's a McManhattan pop in existence now, one of one.
It's awesome.
And I'm gonna sign it, and then I'm gonna give it to myself. No, I'm just kidding. No, so yeah, stuff like that. I like that. Last year I think I got a Captain America shield. I got their soldier shield where it's like all blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, like that's the little stuff that means, oh, I got this too. I love this. I just picked this up. As you guys know, I collect Eagle Moss Enterprises, sometimes other ships, but for the most part Enterprises. I just picked up the Enterprise F to add to the collection. So now I have all of them. We just need to get the G made, people. Come on, get on it, Eagle Moss. So I think that's like the little stuff to me that I don't need anything big. I don't need anything major. Something like that. You can buy me a sandwich and I'll probably.
I mean, honestly.
I
I
love it. I miss the times back in the day. I miss that feeling of being a kid during Christmas.
Right.
But I am. But I think it's important to build your own.
Yeah.
Start your own traditions. Like, and I'm saying that as somebody who, like, for so many years had Christmases alone,
right,
living all over. And I know that you've been everywhere, and I think now when you get to that age, it's important to, sort of build out the way you see it, the way you want it, whether it's a connection to how it was when you were a kid, or whether it's a connection to somebody or, people in your life. I think that's where Christmas becomes special again, because it is special for me. I love it. I'm going to have a great time. I'm just not feeling the spirit. When I'm not with my family, and watching those kids' faces, I don't feel it. Just because I'm also in it. I do a lot of research in the world of whatever the fucks, like we're talking about, like John the Major and all that stuff. So like, I think a lot of that stuff kind of gets you down.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm hoping we have our charity event on Friday. So that's going to be exciting. So I'm hoping I can get back into it, like a couple of days off of shows, and really get back into it and play it up. But I mean, a new year, although I will say this, everybody feels like, oh, it's a new year, it's a new you, it's going to be this. I've given up on that. I said that every year, and especially in the last 5, they've gotten worse. Because I don't know if everyone remembers, 2019 was no fun. We had wildfires. We were almost at World War III. The world was just burning all over the goddamn place. And then we were like, I can't wait for 2020. God damn, did we have it wrong?
Yeah.
So like,
I love COVID.
We're not millennials. We're the recovery era.
Yeah.
We just have to get it good. We have to get rid of the old and get it good for the next generations.
Right.
Let them take over.
I will say one tradition I have with one friend. If you're watching, John, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make you sad. He unfortunately lost his mom about 5 years ago. And he's the brightest soul I have in my life. Like that kid, no matter what mood I'm in, it just brings me back. He's always laughing. It's someone that doesn't deserve something bad to happen. And I'm not saying anyone deserves it to happen, but he's just doesn't deserve it. And I remember it was 2 days before Christmas Eve, so like second. He had come over, and the movie the night before had just come out about them spending that Christmas together, and he wanted to watch it, and we watched together, and he slept at my house for 24 hours just because he wasn't okay. His first Christmas without his mom, and his mom was his best friend.
I am smiling only because I'm glad that you were there for him. That's the thing I'm smiling.
And we've continued that tradition, so every year him and I will watch that together. It's expanded more, with the rest of us, but so we'll probably be watching that tomorrow night with my parents, because we're getting together for dinner. And then also my tradition is I always watch Muppet Christmas Carol on Christmas Eve, just to connect me back to my grandmother, and that just being our thing for Christmas. And that kind of brings me back. Tears my heart out, but it brings me back in a good way.
I got to tell you, I feel all of the things you're feeling. I think maybe and I'm only speculating here, it might be a little bit of the age difference because I'm a little older, and you're newlywed. You're like right around the same age I was. Mary and I first, like, just kind of like how the ins and outs of it as you go, and I definitely get it. I will say this, like, traditions are important. I think they're important to keep, and that's a really sweet thing you did for you, and that's important. And friendship, especially during the holidays, is important. Very, not just family. So glad you get to do that for him, and also he gets to do that for you, because that's the honor of friendship. The honor of friendship is being there for each other. Allow me to have the honor to be there for you as your friend. If you don't tell me, or you just keep me secluded, I don't have that honor. So I hold on. I hold that true. Like, that's a wonderful honor to be there for somebody when you can be, and especially as much as you care about them. And to your point, like watching it and remembering your grandmother, I have a lot of that too. Like my biggest tradition is probably It's a Wonderful Life. 8:00 every Christmas Eve. I don't care what parties are going on. I don't care what's going on. I want that. I want to sit, have some eggnog, have some snacks, watch this movie. That is my favorite Christmas movie. It reminds me a lot of times in my life and a lot of different people in my life. And I want you to keep that in mind. That movie used to be a very sad movie for me because I all too well knew it. And how it felt, and for a lot of reasons that I've talked past, but I made it something different. So it doesn't take away all the people I've shared that movie with to share in it now with, like, my wife or my kids or anybody else. If it just changed what it meant without taking away any of the good times I had from before. So Muppet Christmas Carol, I have a feeling as bittersweet as it can be, is going to be one day. You'll be sitting there with your kids, and that will be your tradition that you pass on, and that's going to be where you look back at your grandma and you say thank you.
Right.
Not that you're not saying thank you now, but like now you're more focused on the I miss you.
Right.
It's going to be the thank you, because now somebody else one day will bring this on and be like, I miss you, but thank you.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's an important sentiment, especially all year round, not just at Christmas time, but definitely at
right.
And I think that's great, and the fun stuff that comes with Christmas. I do like the games, the reindeer games. Those are always a good time. You have a good base of friends, so I definitely challenge you guys. You get the wife, the friends, get all in a car and go to like Wawa or some convenience store that makes sandwiches. Get some sandwiches and chill out and talk about what you want for Christmas and shit like that. Those are the nights that are always just a fun time. And I love it. So, but any other traditions you got kind of pumping up, or anybody have some good traditions you want to share?
Not that I could think of. I know at the circus, I will just bring up the circus. We had a tradition that Christmas Eve, we'd all go out to IHOP of all places, and we had to get hot chocolate. So there was about a group of roughly about 20 or 30 of us that would all go out. There's a couple Christmas Eves together just to go out there, and that was our family tradition, I guess.
Very nice. I love it. And then IHOP I love. That's when I met my wife. I met her at a bar one year, and that's where we ended up at the end, because I didn't want to look. I really wanted to meet her and talk to her. Whole story for another day, but I didn't get a chance to talk to her a lot. So I was like, let's go to IHOP and just have breakfast and talk. And that was, so IHOP has very special memories. But and they also have Grinchmas. So go out there and get your Grinch pancakes now. They're purple or Wonka. Whatever the fuck it is. Speaking of which,
God bless. Did you?
I did see one. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to review it, but I want to hear what you think of it first.
I didn't like that they portrayed it as a music, they didn't portray it as a musical in the trailer. So I didn't like that, because I like music, but I like it being like full front, like, oh, this is about to be a musical, prepare for a musical. So when they threw that in there, I was like, okay. And I knew my mom had read me the book of like the origin story of Willy Wonka. So like I kind of had expectations for what this was going to be like, and there was nothing like it was on screen. And I was like, okay, we made up our own thing, made up our own music, made up our own story. Okay. And then I agree with you on how you feel about Gene Wilder. So in my opinion, how I perceive Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka, or vice versa, however you look at it, this was not how I would think my Willy Wonka would have handled all of those situations. So I was unfortunately kind of let down. I'd still give it, maybe a 5 out of 10. Maybe I need to watch it again, knowing that it's a musical, and maybe it'd be a little higher. But I thought it was kind of a
dud. Fair. That's no wrong with saying that. You're not going to offend me. Now go into the green room like a good boy. No. You know what? I do like your take. I'm going to share mine now, and I'm going to put you in the green room, but I do want to hear more about it. I'll hit you up afterwards. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining in. Everybody, Say Merry Christmas to Paul, please. If you see him, make sure you're commenting along. But thank you, Paul. Merry Christmas. I know I'm going to talk to you before Christmas, so I'm not going to go all deep into it right now. But thank you so much for being on the Christmas show with me. I sat there waiting for the show to start, and I was just like kind of downtrodden, but you picked back up, my friend. So thank you. So if you want to hang out in the green room, but if you do need to go, I understand as well. But thank you, producer Paul. Guys, he is the man. I love producer Paul. And it was just always great to have him as part of the show. So, make sure you wish him Merry Christmas. But yeah, let's get into it. So as Paul has said, he saw Wonka and he gave what he thought about it. So I'm going to give what I think about it. That's right. But we're going to go with Strays. That's right. I tricked you. I'm going to talk about Strays. So this was a movie. All right, when it comes to Will Ferrell and his movies as of late, they're not things I get overly excited. It's not that I dislike him. I think he's funny. I think he's great. I can watch Ricky Bobby. I can watch old school stuff like that. Whenever it's on, they make me laugh. But for a while now, it just hasn't been hitting me, his comedy. So when Strays was coming out and I saw that it was like a little more vulgar, a little bit different, I was like, all right, I'll check it out, see what it's all about. I'm not really into the dog movie type thing. I know a lot of people may be upset about that. Love dogs. Just not into the whole dog movie thing, especially when they talk. Movie just kind of didn't hit it for me. I will tell you, though, it's worth watching for some really laugh out loud moments. There's some good comedy in here. I don't know. I could not get into the story side of it. I'm like, the whole point of it is these 4 dogs, stray dogs, get together, and the one dog wants to bite his owner's dick off. I shit you not. That is it. That is what it is. So they go on a journey to do that. And they come across a lot of different things along the way. And Jamie Foxx plays Bug in the movie. Will Ferrell, I can't really believe they call him Fuckface in it, but they change his name. Rose Byrne's in it, and Bowen Yang. They play the 4 that come together. I gotta say, though, for all of those really laugh out loud moments, which I gotta give them credit for, one was sorry, something like I'm telling you, they really are laugh out loud. Like there's a scene where they eat mushrooms and they don't realize they're psychedelic mushrooms, and the dogs are all seeing different things. But when they finally pass out, when they wake up, it is so funny. Just the implication of it all. I paused and I was laughing for a while. It cracked me up. There was also one small, it was a total dad joke, but I absolutely loved it. And I think it's one of my favorite jokes of the year. And that was when they're walking and the female dog goes, knock, knock. And they all just keep going, ruff, 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 ruff. And they just all go crazy because there's somebody at the door. And she keeps saying, like, no, it's a knock, knock joke. And they just keep freaking out. So those are 2. There's a few others. But overall, my rating for this, though, is about middle of the road, 2.5. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Like, it was worth the laughs, but I don't know that it was worth everything else we're kind of getting into it. But yeah, go check it out. You might really like the raunchy comedy style of it. I don't mind a raunchy comedy. I just not a big dog movie guy, so I think that kind of played into it. And then this one, the story kind of sucked, and it kind of went all over the place at times. But let's get into my next review, and that is of Wonka. So like I said, Paul had just talked about it, so I'm going to tell him all the reasons he's wrong. And here's how this goes. I went into Wonka not expecting much. I did know it was a musical, but I don't know why, because Paul was right. They didn't really set anything. They kind of maybe alluded to song and dance, but I didn't get the idea of it being musical. Just like the original wasn't really a musical. There was just song and dance to it. So watching this one, I was like, all right, I'm going to go into this and see what's what. Opens up with kind of a big song. I didn't mind it, but I will tell you that first half hour maybe took me a little while to get into and warm up to this. It can get pretty dark at times. Nothing too bad. Like you don't really ever feel like he's dead. Like people are going to kill him or anything, but well, at least not in that first half hour. But then when you get down to it, you're like, I'm kind of digging this. Like it picks up in tone. The music gets a little bit better. I will say this, the voice range on Timothée Chalamet maybe wasn't that great, but a lot of people complain about that. But let's be real, Gene Wilder's voice wasn't any better. Like it was just seemed more like a guy singing, and I love Gene Wilder and I love his voice. I love his voice in all of his stuff. He's got a good voice, but he's not a singer. So I felt like that matched up well. Timothée Chalamet's not really singing, but kind of like, putting out the performance work. They have nice voices, but they're just not singers. That's what I took. I liked all of the paying homage to the original in a lot of ways. I love the interaction. Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa in it is fantastic. He kills it. His scene, and my only gripe with that is, welcome to the year I'm having. I knocked myself out of my own studio midway through an episode. This is my This is my year. You won't see that in the clip, but yeah. So when I get down to it and I'm watching this movie, everybody's performances were really good. I loved Olivia Colman in it. She was fantastic, and she was so dastard. The Chocolatiers were great. There wasn't enough in it about the church because Rowan Atkinson was fantastic, and I thought they could have played that up a little bit more. It is funny to me that the entire theme of the movie is that the greedy beat the needy every time, and Willy Wonka is so hopeful he wants to show them that by having a heist and breaking every law he can. But whatever. I did like the movie though. I had fun with the music. I had fun with the story overall. And because I had to detach it in my head from the original movie. I'm not even talking about the Tim Burton, but I had to detach it from the original. This had to be its own thing. I'm not connecting it. It's not a prequel. It's its own story that is a little more whimsical than psychotic. Let's be real. And honestly, I'm okay with that. You could still go back and watch the original. It's a different story. Tells the tale of the factory and such. This one just tells the tale of an early chocolatier growing to build his factory. I dug that. I will rewatch it again. My rating for this movie overall I think is well deserved, but it's a 4. I do think it suffers from not having enough of Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa in it. I think it does suffer a bit, in terms of like lag, like it goes on a little bit too long at certain times. Everybody's performances were really good. The music was good. I love the setting and the costuming. It's still crazy to me that it feels like it's Victorian era, but also feels like it's the 1960s. All over the place. Go check this movie out. I would definitely go see it in theaters for the holiday. See what you think. This is definitely one that's it's going to be a matter of like what you think about it all, how it kind of plays out. But I'd love to hear it. So sound off. Let me know. Head over to our Discord, the Snob Society, coming in 2024. But you can join the Discord now. So make sure you go over and do that. Thank you guys for joining up and watching these reviews and watching the podcast. I'm going to give a mixed movie picks, but I want to see what everybody has to say. So stay tuned. But until next time, if you're watching the clip, go check out the full episode. Sylvia says, I started this from the beginning, so I have to say I can't take the Mariah Carey song either. You're right there with us, Sylvia. We hate it too. It drives us freaking crazy. But thank you so much for watching along and being a part of it. It's awesome. And Dale is here. Dale, I miss you, my friend. Classic movie. I'm sure you're talking about the original. I agree with you. This one could be sort of a new classic if given the chance. I don't think it's going to make that. Only because too many people hold on to the original. That's just my take on it. But I do love it. Now, guys, to kind of finish off this Christmas episode, I have another mixed movie pick. That's right. If you are looking for a movie to watch from any year, this one's going to be 1961. That's right. That's what I do here. I pick out a different movie. Sometimes I'll let you pick it out, and I'll pick out a movie for you to watch. And this movie is The Hustler. That's right. If you haven't seen it, it's a great pool billiards movie starring Paul Newman, Jackie Gleason. They play Fast Eddie Felson and Fats Malone. This is sort of the original, whereas Color of Money with Paul Newman was Martin Scorsese's follow-up to this, which is really well done. You don't need to see either of them to know what the other one's going on. It's just two different stories, but the same character. This one is so good, though. Man, Fast Eddie Felson out there to be the best, wants to beat the best, which is Jackie Gleason's Minnesota Fats. It's such a good movie. If you haven't checked it out, watch it. It's from 1961. Absolutely worth watching and checking out. But yeah, go check it out. That's my mixed movie pick of the week. I want to say thank you guys. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to all of you for watching and listening and being a part of it throughout the year. We're going to have a couple more episodes. I will be doing my New Year's episode next week where I'll be doing my top 10 lists of everything. That's going to be a special crossover with Sturdy. I'm also going to have another episode of the thescenesnobs podcast next year. Next Tuesday, my friend Melissa Loudy is going to join in, filmmaker extraordinaire. Cannot wait to talk to her. She's got some great stories. And we're going to just have like a really good time with everything. So hopefully you guys can be a part of it. Thank you guys again so much. And this has kind of been sort of a downer time of year for me right now, but Paul picked me up. You guys picked me up for being a part of it. You just guys are truly the best. And I really appreciate it. It's Mick at night. That is not, I'm all over the place. I'm hitting buttons all over. So I truly, I just want to say I appreciate you. I'm going to get out of here before I ruin anything more. I'm Mick Manhattan from The Scene Snobs. Thank you guys so much. Go check out snobsmerch.com. Use snobs as your promo code. Get 10% off your order. Thank you guys. Until next time. Oh, make sure you're here Friday. Almost missed the charity event we're doing. Another Casters for a Cause. We're reading National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which got cut off. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm saying goodbye. I'm going to tell you, be kind, stay classy, take care of yourselves. I'm off to take care of myself. Goodbye. Love you.